Hi, welcome back to Hostbox channel and back to Core Java, the Java series. Whoever want to learn the Java exclusive tutorial for Java beginners. This is for today's session. Today's session we are going to discuss about the topic called serialization and deserialization in Java with the practical examples also. So in the previous session I explained about the command line arguments directly with two examples, very easy and simple, how to print the values and how to print the values based on the condition of for loop and so on. Let's go for this session today. Today's session definitely helpful for learn the basics of Java programming as well as the concept based on the serialization and the deserialization and real-time example and also interview point of view also. If you go for IT companies or something, you have to prepare and very good knowledge in. You should have very good knowledge in Java programming. Let's go for session today. Today's session helpful to learn what is serialization and deserialization in Java and also advantages of serialization, java.io.serializable interface and some points about object output stream class, object input stream class, at last examples. Because if you know these three only, you can completely understand the program with the demonstration. So now the question is, what is serialization in Java? It's an important concept that deals with the conversion of object into a byte stream to transport the Java objects from one Java virtual machine to the other and recreate them to the original form. And also we can simply say it is a mechanism of converting the state of an object into a byte stream. What is deserialization? It's a reverse of that one. It's a reverse process where the byte stream is used to recreate the actual Java object in memory, and also this mechanism is used to persist the object. So let's a real-time example of one thing. Remember, for understanding purpose, this is similar to networking. Some of you may study about network or going to study in the future BTech or whatever the course, MC courses like that. So let's assume that I have word hi and it will be converted to junk, and again that is called a serialization. Then after deserialization, what happen? If the word hi I am sending means it will be received to the receiver. So I am sending hi with the junk I am sending. Again it will in bit it may change to some other format, what that is not a matter. But again I want to receive the same. After deserialization also I have to get back the data of hi. So deserialization not same, I am getting hi, again come to the junk, and serialization I may get the same answer of hi, like that. So like that we can do the word transformation and understand. Then so there will be a small diagram given. So what are the object in the Java programming? It will be in the convert to the byte stream, and it may be a file and also byte stream, and at last again object convert to the original position. If you go for and also the data will be in the file, memory as well as the database also. Again if you go deserialization opposite, again object convert to byte stream, and again again some format of byte stream, at last come to the original format of the object, like that. Now so here the byte stream created is the platform independent, remember, so that object serialized on one platform can be deserialized on a different platform. And also to make a Java object serializable, what we have to implement the package called java.io.serializable interface. So java.io.serializable is the mandatory package whenever you use the serialization concept. And also the object output stream class contains a write object method for serializing an object, and there will be a given here format public final void write object of object space object of then throws IO expression. And also the object input class string class is there, it contains a read object method for deserializing an object. So as per point of Java programming, our write object also mandatory. It's for serializing. If you want to serialize any object, we need help of output stream. And also if you want to deserialize, if we need help of object input stream class, where the format is public final object read object of throws IO expression comma class not found exception, like that. Advantage of serialization. Why we need? What is the importance of why? Because what is the importance of serialization? Because it also to save, help to save or persist state of an object, and also to travel an object across a network also. Let's go for some points about Java IO serializable interface. Because here serializable is a marker interface. That means what? It has no data member and method. Remember, what is marker interface means what? Serializable is a marker interface. That means what? It has no data member and method. And also it is used to mark Java classes so that the object of these classes may get a certain capability. and also the clonable and remote are also markable interfaces. Then it must be implemented by the class whose object you want to persist. The string class and all the wrapper classes implement java.io.serializable interface by default. So when I go for the understanding about the program, there we will get these points clearly. Now go for example. So how do you write the just small example program? How do you use the serializable program? Just now I told you the package is important. Import java.io.serializable. Then I am going to write a program called student, public class student, implement serializable, open brace. Then int id I am going to give the variables here. Int id string student name, the string name, and public student int id comma string constructor. I am creating the constructor, the name of student, and passing the arguments int id comma string name, and this dot id is called id. Already in the previous session I told what is this, what is fine and everything, keyword everything, and this dot name is called name, and close it. So this is a part of the serializable program, understanding about this program. So if you want to understand and do the program work with serialization and deserialization concept, you have to understand this concept. Just we are getting the program where we are writing the variable with the declarations, and we are using this and go to refer the object. This the id means id, this dot name is called name, like that. So if you have Java compiler like that, you can just try to execute it. Now object output stream. It is the object output stream class. What means it is used to write primitive data types and Java object 1 output stream. Only object that support the java.io.serializable interface can be written to streams also. Then constructor. So you already know about constructor also, OOPS concept and constructor. So these all are part of the programming OOPS concept only, part of the OOPS concept. Then constructor. How to use the constructor means there will be a formula, there will be a method, public object output stream out, then space throws IO expression. Here, what is the use of this constructor means it creates an object output stream that writes to the specified output stream. For example, I am creating a object object and file name called a.txt. Suppose in the file I want to write roll number is 11 and name is John. What happened? That both data will write in the file a.txt with the help of this constructor. At last we can view it. If you do in offline, that Java compiler like it, after execute this program you can go and check the a.txt file, what information like that. Then method, some of the method and description will be there for related with this serialization, deserialization method. Once you understand, then only you can understand all the program arguments easily here. Program statements. First one, public final void write object new throws IO expression. This is for write the specified object to the object output stream. It may be a text file or it may be some other format file, whatever that. Then public void flush throws IO expression. This is for flushes the current output stream. Then public void close throws IO exception. This is for closes the current output stream. Currently close the output stream. Then object input stream class. These also used for deserialize the objects and primitive data type written using an output stream. So whatever do in the serialization operation, we are going to reverse. So if you want to do reverse everything, you need support of object input stream. Then constructor. Here also it needs support of constructor. The constructor may be in the form of public object input stream in, then throws IO expression, open brace and close braces. Then it also creates an object input stream that reads from the specified input stream. So for example, just I told a.txt, so it go and read the data from the a.txt and try to display the information in the programming. Then some method is there, that is public final object read object of throws IO expressions comma class not found exception followed by open brace and close brace. Then read an object from, this is for read an object from the input stream. Whether you say a.txt or b.txt, whatever that, go and read the object from the input stream. Then public void close, where it currently close the object input stream. Just what close the file or operation, current operation, stop the current operation. Let's go for example here. We're going to see the two example. One example called Java serialization and deserialization, where in this example we are going to serialize the object of an employee class. And also here write object method of object output stream class provides functionality to the serialize the object like that. And also we are going to save the state of the object in the file named f.txt. So we are going to see the program where we are going to do these both process, and also whatever the data we are going to write, the data copy of the data will be in the f.txt file. Let's go for program here. So simple and easy. So you know first step is what? Import java.io asterisk symbol, then class implement serializable open brace, then private static final long serial version UID is called some number I am giving, then transient int a and static int b, string name and int a. So I am going to create an employee database where I have to give the employee, mainly I have to put in the information like name, age and some info, mainly name, age, name and age and serial ID I want to print like that. Here what is this transient and static? Whenever you use this transient and static keyword or access keyword in this program, Java program, what happen? It never do any changes in the serialization process. If you do serialization, just it go and call the object and print the value. It won't do anything, just supporting using. Then we can call the default constructor where public emp, because class name I am trying to keep the same name, class public emp, then string name comma passing the arguments int string name comma int age comma int a comma int b. There I am going to use this operator for representing this object like that. So this start name is equal to name, this start age is equal to age, and this start a is equal to a, and this start b is equal to b. So all arguments are passed and ascending with the help of this keyword. So current object like that. Then I am going to complete the I am going to print the data. Then so I am going to get extend the class. So public class serial example open base, then public static void print data of employee object 1. So I am just now create the object where I am using the constructor, default constructor, and passing the value. Now I want to print the details of the employee. So I am going to give SOP name is equal to plus object 1 dot name, and SOP age is equal to object 1 dot name, and SOP a is equal to object 1 dot a, and SOP object 1 dot b. Then public static void main string arguments of. Now I am going to conclude the program. I am going to conclude with the main process now. So as you know, you know what is constructor, what is class object, so easily you can understand, catch it here. So employee object is called new employee of. So I am going to write the employee name is John, and the information like age, then some information. So employee name is John, and 20, age is 20, and some a variable is 2, and another variable called 1000 like that, and string file name is called f.txt. That means what? We are going to create the object with this employee database, and this data will be in the f.txt. Then serialization, how do you do? Means you can do try open brace file output stream file is equal to new file output stream of file name, then object output stream out is equal to new object output stream of file. So just now I told you, if you do all this classes only, it will support the program. Then method for serialization object. Now how do you serialize object? You can do with the help of this method out.write object of object, then out.close and file.close. So as you know, in the file handling also, whenever do this file can operation with the file, you have to close immediately, otherwise you will get some error. So out.close and file.close. That means what? Serialization process, we are creating the object with the information like this. We are the user, we are passing the information like this. If you want, you can change in the runtime. Then print the data of object. So try to print and object.b is equal to 2000 and so on, and catch IO exception. Suppose any SOP IO exception is caught, any exception you will print it, otherwise not. Then I am going to give object is not deserialization, not reverse of the serialization process. So I am going to write try reading the object from a file. So file input stream is equal to new file input stream of file name, then object input stream in is equal to new object input object input stream of file, then method for deserialization of object. There is opposite of this one here. So here I have to write like this only. So I am writing object is equal to emp of bracket, then in.read object of. So what happened? It will go and check the employee class and read all the data. Then in.close, file.close, and SOP object has been deserialized and so on. So after serialization, what happened? And print the data object, same data will be printed. Then catch IO exception, we are followed by SOP IO exception caught, and catch class not found. That means suppose we do some mistakes, what happened? Suppose the employee details class name is emp. If you give emp1 or enp, some spelling mistake, what happened? It will say the error called class not found like that. So let's go for demonstration. Look for online compiler. So Java also one of the easiest programming language. But thing is, if you have to remember and strong with this programming languages like C and C++, if you have these two languages, it will be easy for you to understand better. So you have to print the employee database. Yeah, successfully executed. So the serializable and object. So first serialized object is what? Object has been serialized. The data before deserialization is what? Name John, age 20 and age equal to 2 and B is equal to 100. Then after serialization, same answer, that is name John, age 20 and age equal to 0. Sorry, yeah, after this A becomes 0 and B is equal to 2000. So the values variable change means the view of age and A and B, two parameters. When I use this two variables, the value will be changed. So this is the way of understanding the serialization and deserialization concept. And let's go for one real-time example. So back to presentation here. So easy and simple. That is, and before that here, now the clear point about Java deserialization. What it means? It is a process of reconstructing the object from the serialized state, and also it is a reverse operation of serialization. Let's go and see the example where we are reading the data from deserialized object. Just now I told you. Let's go for example, real-time example. You can say the program called test.java where serialization using single inheritance. Here, if superclass is serializable, then by default its subclasses also are also be serializable. So you have some superclass and subclass will be that if you part of the program is serializable, means remaining part of the program also consider as a serializable, like that, serializable programming process. Let's go for another example. Yes. So as you know, if you want to implement this program, you need support of these packages, file input stream or file output stream, object input stream, object output stream, and serializable also mandatory. Then I am going to write a program where base class I am writing class A, implement serializable, then int I, public A, int I. Then I am writing the constructor where I am going to represent this I dot square I. Then class B extends A. So this is a base class, this or else you can say super class, this is a subclass where I am going to extend the class B extends A, where I am going to write int j, then public B of int I comma int j. So I am going to pass the parameters int I also as well as the int j also, because I am going to extend it. Then super of I, then this dot j is equal to j. Then I am going to write the program where I am going to complete with this one part. So public class test. So I am using the inheritance. So what happened now? I am going to write it. Continue the program. Public class test, public static void main strings of argument through exception, open brace. Then I am creating the object b1 is equal to new b of 200 comma 400 and SOP of I plus b1 dot I, then plus b dot b1 dot I. So by default, if you execute the program, it go and print the values like what 200 and 400 like that. Then file output stream FOA is equal to new file output stream of abc comma abc dot ser. Then object output stream OAS equal to new object output stream of FOAS. Then OAS dot write object of B1, then close. Just now I told you, if you do this file handling operation, you have to close immediately. Then FOAS dot close. Then SOP, the object has been serialized. So this is the first method for serializing. So using the write object method. Then and now we go for deserialization, same program. So we can continue the program here. File input stream of FI is equal to new file input stream of abc.ser. Then object input stream OA is equal to new object input stream of FIS. Then B is equal to B of OS dot read object. So serialization write object, deserialization means you have to remember read object of. So B of means what are the data in B class, it go and read it. Then OS dot close and FI dot close. At last you have to print the result for the deserialization. So you can write the statement SOP, the object of serialized. Then what is the value of this one? That is I is equal to plus b2 dot I and j is equal to b dot j. So simple and easy. You have to remember and understand these packages use. What are the packages of use means you can do any programming, real-time programming. So let's go for demonstration. See, copy. Tested, so simple and easy. Yeah, successfully executed. So what is the result here? Same. So first, because we are just passing only two parameters, two variables here, that is I value is 200 and j value is 400. And also here object has been serialized and also deserialized. The answer is again I is equal to 200 and JS equal to 100. If you want, you can extend the base class, super classes and subclasses there. If you want, you can extend with like this class C extends B and so on. You can try yourself also. These are the points you have to remember about the serialization and deserialization concept in the programming Java programming. Thank you for watching this video. Please subscribe, come on the CoSpark CA channel and stay tuned with social media. Thank you.